and talk with other small creators. I'm gonna go get a drink real quick. It's nice that you made those. I'm gonna go back and read those myself later. I keep wearing these headphones backwards. I'm just listening to music bouncing around. I'll be 100% honest. I actually thought the same thing. I considered doing a bug at first, but I didn't know if I wanted to, just because I didn't think you'd be able to hit the right weight limit to survive. Because the thing is, like, with a bug, as much as they said flying was okay, I mean, it has to be a primarily terrestrial. So, I mean, the only bugs that are going to be primarily terrestrial would be things like beetles. And I'm like, I don't think you can hit the right weight limit. Now, granted, I'll give you, if you use like Hercules beetles, which can lift, I think, like 500 times their body weight or something insane, you could get pretty far. Mm-hmm. Did they keep Raptor in it? I thought they dumped the Raptor genome. Maybe not. Yeah, he already admitted that he was wrong and they didn't use that. No, the thing they used that I don't think he doesn't even have it down here in his little list, but I'm pretty sure they kept the Deinosuchus for size. But their thing was actually shorter than a T Rex. because they needed it to also be able to hunt small things. They didn't really use anything super big because they didn't want it to get bigger. They wanted it to stay about the same size. I would have used a mimic octopus, but yeah, to some extension. Okay, I want to see what you made. Thank you for reminding us what. I don't think you did. Dragonflies are one of the world's most perfect hunters. Dragonflies have one of the highest success rates on hunts, I think, out of any dinosaur, or not dinosaur, but out of any living thing. Mhm. Unfortunately, I think because you're using something that's 99% flying, I don't think they. I'm pretty sure the hybrid war wouldn't count this one. I'm pretty sure this would go to the Hall of Shame. Mm-hmm. The problem you're going to run into is Indom's armor is going to be really thick. And the other thing you're going to run into is, though you have speed, she has sheer power. Because, I mean, you're not going to get a bug that's weighing over 2-3 tons. And she's weighing 4 or 5 times what you're weighing already. You're not going to get much heavier. You get any heavier and you won't be able to fly. I think the heaviest flying reptile, and I'm talking about reptile, was like maybe 2 tons. I don't know. How heavy was Meganera? Oh. I like fat finger everything I do. I'm just BS guessing. Okay. I have no issue with you using this, but 28 inches. You're using something that's 3 feet long. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to laugh at you. It's just you're not winning a fight with a 3 foot animal. It's gonna weigh almost nothing. I mean, I guarantee you, this thing probably only weighs what, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, maxing maybe 150. What did you just do? Oh, okay. You're comparing. I thought you were adding raptor DNA to the bug. Yeah. How are you gonna size this up? Because I mean, this thing's only the size of my desk. Yeah, that's an issue, but you're still running into the problem that even even if you find, I don't know what your reasoning is going to be that you're able to keep it alive, which I'm sure there's a logical reason. It's fine. Your creature's still only 30 inches long. The giant locusts were also just like the bug I made. They were that wide. Well, width of my computer. Yeah, ginormous. But I mean, you did see the Giganotus just like Giganotosaurus just just disappeared. It's gonna take one bite and your thing's dead. I don't think the cone snail's weapon could work above water. Most things can't. Doesn't work above water. So I mean, nice choice. I, it's a good thought. I'm not discounting you at all. I mean, y'all are all of you people are bigger YouTubers than I am. But that's the issue is you're making something that's really, I mean, brilliant design, but you're taking individual animals that are specialized in their field and trying to apply them in a place where they just don't work. So I mean, though the venom will work, yes, you'll have the venom, but that thing's not going anywhere. Which you can't do outside of the water because it relies on the anti-gravity and the extra, because you got to realize there's way more resistance in water. It's the same reason that like Hank didn't work, because he was trying to use pistol shrimp. He was also trying to use Dunkleosteus, when you take something out of the water and you no longer have that resistance, you do, I mean, you very minimally will often increase, but sometimes you also decrease by a lot because you don't have the resistance to build up pressure before it gets there. So with this, you don't have any pressure build up. So it's just a limp. It's not going anywhere. Yep. It's also so venomous that it kills people. It's also known as the cigarette snail because that's how long you have. You can smoke a cigarette and die. Oh, I broke my cup. Not entirely true. Are which are you talking about? Because if you're talking about the specific proteins that the shrew's resistant to, you're still right. The problem is you're also running into that it is actually resistant to neurotoxin via the crocodile. Except for you can't launch anything because you're not in the water. Problem is you're now running into the issue of meshing. A reptile and a bug, they don't connect properly. You can't get that DNA to mix. Once again, you here's the problem you're running into. You are looking at an animal that has an endoskeleton. So an endoskeleton, most people know basic biology. There's endo and exo. This separation happens all the way back at phylum, which is the second division. So when you take everything in the universe, the division breaks down kingdom, phylum, class, order, genus, species. I think I skipped one, but that's just the generics. A kingdom separates living things from non-living things. That's why trees aren't categorized as snakes. Um, However, the second breakdown, after you get rid of rocks, trees, and plants, is you separate phylum, which is the vertebrates, versus the invertebrates, which is animals that have what we have spine, as mine pops. um, you're going to run into an issue that an animal that has a spine and one that does not won't mesh well, especially with the fact that a spine is how animals with an internal skeleton support themselves. So you have two different kinds of support systems that work completely differently. Oh, okay. Yep. Except for you don't have an animal big enough to hold all that so-called venom, unless you had external venom sacs, which would make flying a real pain in the ass. How the heck are you storing 4 inches in 3 feet? My hand is 9 inches across, so I mean, you're looking at something that big, storing in something the length of my desk, and you're storing multiple. How many do you have? They can't. Yeah. No. That's the misconception. It's a very common misconception. Weapons like that don't work. Hank ran into the same problem of, well, if it's out of the water, there's less resistance, therefore, shouldn't it work faster? No, because what you're doing is you're building up pressure and you're using that pressure to make the hit stronger. Um, it's it's the same idea of if. Oh, actually, I've got a great one. So you're pushing on a door really hard, and then whoever's on the other side of the door just moved. You're going to come flying through that door. Now you just open the door. There's nobody behind it. You're not going to come through the door the same way. You built up pressure in the first time. No, unfortunately not. I wish. Nature's cool. It ain't that cool. I wonder if I should play this game. It doesn't look terrible. I'm not that great at those games though. Probably not. Bugs are far more likely to do that, so. have an idea. I don't know too much about bugs, so I'm not that great shakes at these kinds of things. Damn, there's one for you. My recommendation, honestly, keep keep the dragonfly, because here's my thought. One of my favorite things that you see is with wasps, they have a tendency to inject um venom, normally like a paralytic venom, into their enemies and just stab them, and that would cause them to pause. Keep the fire ant, keep the base of the dragonfly, but get rid of the others because unfortunately the water one won't work. However, as far as the venom goes, I would switch out to like a wasp venom, because if you use a wasp's stings are normally pretty strong. Keep whatever that little hardening thing was, the bug, whatever the heck that water creature was. I don't know much about it, so I'm not sure. But keep that and use that to harden up the sting, because then what you can do, your creature is so fast currently and it weighs so little. All you really need is for your creature to fly around really quickly, land on the back of Indominus, sting it, inject it with a venom. You are going to run into the issue that you are a one hit kill. If you die, you're screwed. But if yours are traveling, something else I would say is actually add some kind of locust or some kind of swarming bug, or maybe better yet, instead do bees. Giant, are there giant prehistoric bees? I wonder. Spider's not going to help too much. Wallace's giant bee, 2-inch wingspan, largest bee. Oh, it's still alive right now. I mean, look at this sucker. They got big old jaws and they got a sting. So this would be a great idea. Granted, it is a one sting and it's dead. But if you can get it to be targeting an enemy, then you can mix this ant's insatiable need to kill. You've also got the defense system of the health system from the ants. Then you can have the queen system, the queen cast. And if they all have the enhanced sight and speed of Mega, what's it? I forget what the bug's called, sorry. Then you now have a really quick thing that can sting, and as soon as it dies, creates a hive mentality of a need to kill, and it'll be able to repopulate way faster than Indominus. That would honestly be my recommendation, but I don't think you need to change it too much. I mean, the base is a great idea. I actually considered doing something similar, although I wanted to work with a centipede. The other issue you're going to run into is eating if you do that. Even assuming that it can spit the little thing, how is your creature going to eat? Because the problem you're going to run into, Thanatos, nice, the name of the god of death. It's actually a Greek word that was copied into Latin. Anyway, the biggest issue I'm seeing you run into is right here, because your creature's going to have to drink a liquidated state, and I don't think you have the proper amount of venom to break down food enough to turn it into a liquid state with a creature like this. I think we named ours Thomas. Yeah, you see, this is the thing you're running into as an issue is you're dealing with something that's weighed in tons and you weigh a pound. Um, but yeah, I'd say you've got a great base, and I'd love to talk with you about how to make this thing even better. So, let's see if there's anything else really. Doesn't look like you have much besides just showing how you kill your enemy. You create the next mass murder. Nice.